have a long and vibrant life? Hi, my name is Solera. I'm a spiritual channel, and I'm also the author of the Life Manual Trilogy, which is a series of texts given to me by the spiritual guides to uplift the consciousness of humanity. So today I have a question from another Facebook group member, and she is asking if I will have a very long and vibrant life. I think all of us want to have a long life. So let me see what the spiritual guides have to say. Yes, we hear you. So long and vibrant. So let us kind of dissect that question for you a little bit. So it's very possible to have a long and miserable life, and it's also very possible to have a short and vibrant life. Okay, so we understand the question that you're saying. It's like you want to have a very long life and very vibrant life. But let's just look at each part separately. Okay, how do you have a long life? Obviously, that requires your physical health, right? Some people are very lucky that they naturally have a healthy body and they don't have to do too much to work hard for that, and they can just go about it very easily. You know, they can eat sort of whatever they want, and they're sort of fine with that. But you may or may not be that lucky, so you really have to take care of this physical body as well, right? Through exercise, through meditation and stretching and things like that. So that's sort of just common sense, but people don't really want to spend the time and effort to do it. You know, they really feel like, oh yeah, you know, I'm still young, you know, I'm in my 20s, whatever, 30s or 40s, and I'm fine. Well, if you don't exercise your body, just like if you don't exercise your brain, it's not going to stay healthy like that for very long. So we do recommend just, you know, gentle stretching, gentle exercising if you're not, you know, in a really good shape right now. Just a little bit of stretching would help you sort of elongate, you know, your muscles and things like that. So common sense, all right? So what else do you have to do to keep your body healthy, right? Which is your food. Well, this is a big topic that we don't want to go in length, okay, with this video. We want to just address it sort of quickly. Food is, for some people, a highly emotionally charged topic. For some people, like the channel, food is just neutral. You know, it's like asking her about the weather, okay? There's no emotional attachments to it, and there's just nothing there, okay? So there's no issue around this topic. But some people, it's a huge topic, right? They get upset, they eat. They get angry, they eat. They're happy, they eat. It's like, and they'll stuff all the things that are not good into their body, right? They'll just keep feeding it and feeding it with no conscious intention. You pretty much go unconscious whenever you're triggered by an event, by a person. So how do you maintain yourself then when it comes to food, right? So we say, number one, don't try to follow diet plans and to force yourself into some kind of regimented routine, because you might just find that it will backfire. This is why a lot of people try different diets, and it sort of doesn't really work. You know, they try one diet and then sort of falls off, and they try another diet, it sort of falls off, right? So what we would recommend is to really think about, okay, if the diets don't really work for me, what will work for me? So we say start treating it like you're making a friend. Imagine you're meeting a new friend and you don't really know them very well, so you're not going to be like, oh my god, let's do this and do this and do this and do this. You would say, hey, would you be interested to try this thing together? Like, let's maybe go to this cafe together and see if they have nice coffee there, right? You would be kind of gentle about it. So we would do the same thing if we were you. You know, we wouldn't say, yeah, let's get on this diet plan. No, we would be like, okay, don't really like green vegetables, but maybe I can try with just one vegetable a week, and maybe I can start with broccoli or spinach. It's like, just experiment, like with one vegetable a day. or one vegetable a week if you find it very challenging to do it daily. So, and just start with that. Like making a new friend, like, hey, this week let's go to this coffee shop, and the following week we can try, this sushi place, and then the following week we can go to like a barbecue place. Just start with that, okay? So don't push yourself, and don't be harsh on yourself when it comes to this topic, because this is probably your biggest enemy, is how critical you are to yourself. So that's sort of like half of the long and vibrant life, right? Then how do you have a vibrant life? How can you be vibrant? Vibrant means you're happy, you're fulfilled, you're satisfied, you're doing things that you love, and you're joyful. But ultimately, the vibrantness, okay, comes from your sense of joy, meaning in the world, right? And number one is definitely joy. And we have covered this topic in many, many, many videos. So we encourage you to explore other topics that we've already talked about. But the short answer to it, to have a vibrant life, is to have a joyous life. And to have a joyous life, you have to focus on it, okay? Focus on it. It means you sort of have to be a laser beam. Okay, if there's one thing we want you to know in terms of having a very, very happy life, is to focus on one or two things that make you happy every day. And it doesn't have to be very long, but if you can keep your attention on how happy this one activity makes you feel, whatever it is, maybe it could be your dog. A lot of people are very, very happy with their dogs and kittens and stuff like that. So your animal may bring you a tremendous amount of joy. Or it could be your career. If you're lucky to be in a job that you love, we say you can focus on that. Some people say, well, I don't have anything that makes me happy. That we say, well, you need to really get on with it and start looking, okay? Don't sit there and blame the world for your problems if you're not willing to solve them, and be proactive about it, because that's the way it is. If you choose to be a victim, then you will continue to be a victim, and you really have nobody to blame but yourself. It may sound very harsh, but our intention is not to punish you, but rather to help you awaken to your true power, to true, it's like you have this reservoir of energy within that you really haven't tapped into. So with that, we say this is sort of the short answer to the long and vibrant life, but that's pretty much it. If you can cover these two areas, we say you got it. Your life would be more or less quite happy and quite long, quite vibrant, because all these things will sort of start to align, right? The physical, the mental, emotional will align together. So you will have a healthy body, and you will also be happy inside, and that's how you end up having a long and vibrant life, all right? So we hope that is clear, and we will finish the reading for today. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I am totally guilty of not exercising. I don't have so much issue with food, like I said. I eat chocolate every day when I wake up, and that makes me very happy. And some people will say, oh my God, of course you're so lucky you have this body and you're so thin. Actually, I remember there's a period of time in college when I was very, very unhappy. And just like all the other college kids, I gained like my freshman 15, like in a month, not even kidding. I was miserable at school, and I didn't know what I was doing, far from home. So, yeah, don't think that it cannot happen to me. It definitely has happened. And yeah, once I started to move in a different direction and started to be happy with myself, then no, it's like it just goes away. So I think a lot of it is emotional, like you said. Yeah, exercising, I'm not really good at that either. I'm just very lazy. I don't like to go outside, so I used to be a dancer though, a ballroom dancer, and I just haven't really danced since I moved to Thailand. It's just, it's quite like a thing, you have to go find a partner and stuff like that, so I've been not very active with that. But I have been going to see like a chiropractor. He's like, you should stretch and exercise a little bit. So I have a yoga mat, on the floor that I just sort of look at, and I do a little bit of stretching. Yeah, so I don't think life is perfect. You don't have to do any of these things perfectly. I think I stretch maybe every other day. Sometimes it's just hard for me to remember every day. So, don't beat yourself up because I'm like in the same boat as you. But I do think that the last piece that they said about happiness, that's probably the most important thing. Like, if you focus on the things that are exciting for you, and like yesterday, I was just kind of had a grumpy day, and I was like, maybe I can just do some coloring, So I spent like 20 minutes coloring, and I felt so much better after that. I was like, oh, it didn't take me like a lot of work to shift like my vibration. I just need to sit down, play with some coloring pencils, and that was it. So I think sometimes it's really like the little things, don't think of like these huge grand visions of being a bajillionaire. Like, start with something small to shift that, like whatever unhappy emotions that you might have feel, on the inside. So for me, it's coloring, but for you, maybe like cooking or something. So just start with that. All right, so that's what I was saying. And I'm here for you. Alrighty, so subscribe to my channel, Solera for Humanity, if you haven't yet, and if you like these videos. And you can also join me in my Facebook group called Life Lessons for Every Day from the guides. Yeah, I'll be doing like live channeling from time to time and things like that. So, alrighty, see you next time.